Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are having a wonderful day. I know I have been having a great holiday with all the activity and all the Souls games. It's been pretty crazy. There's lots of groups out there, lots of people summoning their buddies, saying, yo, what's up, let's play some Souls, let's play some Elden Ring, let's play some Bloodborne, you know. So, you know, all y'all invaders out there, there's some dried finger groups at low level. There's some 4 dudes. There's 4 dudes running around, and I need help. I didn't save the invasion, but there was a pretty fun group in the Cathedral of the Deep, and I had one co-invader at one point. But that's besides the point. I'm getting ahead of myself. This build, I just made this build because I heard bleed is not that great in Dark Souls 3. You know, it doesn't have the stagger that bleed has in Elden Ring. So you can't like proc it off of you know, phantom hits and then they're staggered like that. You know, it's pretty much if you just get that chunk damage, which I think is like 10% per bleed build-up that you have. I think like 350 something damage is what I get when I hit with the Carthus curved sword, and with the whip I get like 300, and it's really cool. And the Grave Warden Twin Blades is something that I kind of threw on last minute, because why not? You know, I'm kind of like a at this point this is like a bleed build with like base luck off the warrior class. And I've learned that the warrior class is just straight up better. I've been going with either the Wretch or the Knight class for the longest time, making all my builds. I don't think I ever used the warrior class. And it's phenomenal. I mean, starting with 16 strength is no joke. At first, as you can see, I'm switching to the Murakumo. That was the one and only weapon I really wanted to use on this build. Was a Fire Kumo and, you know, Cestus, you know, kind of, you know, just parry fishing, kind of that deal. But, I mean, at low level, like that, you know, you parry fish, the fights are over in, you know, not too long. Especially if you have the Hornet Ring, which, I mean, usually you get to the Abyss Watchers and you get to Gundyr, you get the Prisoner's Chain. You're gonna have the Hornet Ring if you're invading, yeah, no matter what level. And so parry fishing at low level is kind of just like, you know, it's nice to have the option, obviously, but man, I wouldn't get to have this fun fight around this ball. That's, you know, I love the catacombs. The catacombs and the cathedral are my favorite levels to like play through. So I've been severely missing out on SL36 bracket, making an invader for it. I've done it a few times with Wex Dust on PC, but on PlayStation, there's too much cute shenanigans going on, and I've been missing it. Like look at funny Xanthus guy. He's, you know, trying his hardest until he turns off the PlayStation. What can you do? But yeah, the hazards that are in these levels, it's incredible. The escapes that you can make if you have the cat ring, it's great. You know, if you can get yourself out of some sticky situations. There's some really cool spots you can plunge from. I could make a compilation of the plunge attacks I've gotten in the cathedral and at the catacombs. Those are at SL36. Those have been my bread and butter invasion spots. Is those 2 spots, catacombs and Cathedral of the Deep. You know, just outside the cleansing chapel. You know, if you just like crack your red eye orb in the chapel, and then you like walk into either side of the cathedral, you can you'll find an invasion fairly quick, I think. Look at these guys. This guy, they password summon Mound Maker. They can hit each other. This was so cool. I was so happy to see that he was a Mound Maker because it was so funny. He went to go get me and he ended up hitting his buddy. And I don't know if that was on purpose, if they're just like two goofballs going through the level, and then when an invader shows up, it turns into just a hectic showdown. I doubt it, but it was really fun regardless. There's just so much fun to be had at this low level, and I mean, you can make a lot of things work. I mean, obviously, unless you're trying to use like a Fume Ultra Greatsword, or like Leto's hammer at SL36. I think you can make a lot of things happen. You know, if you want to use an Ultra, you can use like the Zweihander. Maybe you can get away with like the Profane Greatsword. I've seen Moonlight Greatsword at this level. I mean, 36 is pretty nice. I mean, it's by no means like a ready-to-go build. Boom! But, I mean, this is just a 2020 quality build at 36. You know, getting carried by the Prisoner's Chain, Fap Ring, Carthus Milk Ring, and then having one slot to swap. Whether I want to have the Untrue Dark Ring for fashion, or the Hornet Ring if I, you know, run into like an over-leveled Phantom that needs to go. Another thing too with this build, I had a hell of a time picking fashion for it too. As you can see in this invasion, it's a little different than the other ones. And I don't know, maybe if you know, YouTube commenting is your thing, if you have any preferences on either one, I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether you like the thorned chest piece or the Black Hand chest. The Black Hand chest is pretty cool. It kind of makes it more of like an assassin character, which since I use the Obscuring Ring, you know, before I run into my opponents anyway, it kind of fits the bill. But the Thorned armor looks really sick, especially with like the notched whip in the offhand and like having it on my side like that. It looks really neat. But both armor sets look cool. I guess if you know, if you want to comment down below which one you think is best. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more invasions. Sorry, I told myself I would never really do that. I don't really care. You know, I mean, you're getting to see the fun experiences I had at SL36. You know, who am I to tell you what to do? I don't give a damn. You know the like button and the subscribe button are there. I don't have to tell you that. So I'm not going to. You do what you want. And you're gonna watch this video, and you know, here I am. I told you what to do, even though, you know, I said don't let me tell you what to do. But if you do continue watching, you'll see the stats at the end, which, you know, if you want to make a build at SL36, you can see what stats I have and try and bleed people out, because it's really fun. You know, if I wanted to, I would could easily like max more vitality for poise, or, you know, luck, so that I can bleed out hosts and poison hosts better. But what's the fun in that? You're winning every invasion. It's very easy if you have all the right tools to win invasions, like every invasion at low level. But then again, you also run into a couple of co-opers who do like the same thing. They go on and they make builds. Sometimes they help their buddies out, but they're not over-leveled Phantoms. They're the same level, but they're using the same upgrade materials, or, you know, the same upgrade level as you are. And almost at that point, they're almost more dangerous than an over-leveled Phantom, because over-leveled Phantoms can be very aggressive, because they're like, I'm way higher level than this Phantom, and I have more equipment, yada yada yada. Whereas you and a co-opper who are the same level, that has gone through, you know, that also has like the Prisoner Chain, has the Dark Hand, and, you know, has a buddy with them, that's pretty dangerous, because, you know, they could have dang near like 1300 HP, which can be an issue. But I've only run into that a few times, and even then, it's still a fun time. You know, it's who am I to judge? They're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're just co-oping. They're helping people, and I'm impeding progress. I'm an asshole. GG's potato. This was a really cute group. And I got all these invasions within like a span of a couple of days, and I'm thinking it's because of the holidays. But really, it's great to see a lot of Dark Souls gamers out there too. I know a lot of people are invading Elden Ring at the moment. You know, with the Steam, with the sale coming off across all platforms. I don't know if Dark Souls also got that. The trilogy also got the sale. But activity at low level, and even at like SL60, SL90, the game's been picking up, and maybe it's because Elden Ring is just a little too late, or maybe not too. I shouldn't say too late, but kind of taking a while with DLC. But I'm doing just fine. You know, if I feel like playing Elden Ring, I do. But you know what? I have so many builds to make in all these games that you know what, Miyazaki, go ahead. You take your time on the DLC. I got stuff to do. And here's the same group again. But that's the one thing I really like about low-level invasions too. I ran into this group I think 3 times, and these guys have gotten me before. And you know, they're a fun group. They stayed aggressive. They were always, you know, always trying to, you know, stay up. And you see a lot of that at low level. I mean, you saw that guy disconnect at the start, but these guys got heart. And that's what I like about Dark Souls 3 gamers. You have your share of re-summoners. You know, I'm just gonna dodge roll away from everything. You know, the Kumo's not the hardest thing to dodge. Or, you know, the Carthus curved greatsword isn't the hardest thing to dodge. It has somewhat of a predictable dodge roll attack, as you can see there, but, you know, if a host knows how to dodge stuff, and they're trying to resummon somebody, they're gonna make it. So I have other options for that. But yeah, it's too fun watching the bleed proc in Dark Souls 3. It's pretty cool. And there's a lot of fun groups out there. There's some dried finger activity. I dried fingered through the cathedral, and I you know, summoned blues. You know, a couple of reds showed up. I wasn't even streaming at that point. And it was phenomenal. It was so much fun. But yeah, that's where my commentary is gonna end. And I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. Cheers.